such relief!
Feeding him his own medicine. What do you want, Flatlander? If you're here for
Then shut your mouth and go get us some wine, why don't you?
I'm tripping.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
Toasty!
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Who's next?
Why don't you go yourself then? You already sent Odilin and he's been blown to bits.
You dare to challenge your commander, Wormbelly?
He's no commander of ours, orc scum.
That's enough out of the lawyer. I've a solution that's fair for all. Rock, paper, scissors.
Who the bloody hell uses a child's game to decide matters of life and death?
Ready in 3, 2, 1. Scissors! Well, that's one less mind to worry about, so who's next?
By the beard of the Bear Slayer, another human face. You must hail from Silverglen. Fewer orcs that away, I've heard. This big green hunk of rot will club me if I say more than nothing. Perhaps you better query him first.
What are you staring at, small bones? Talk to Captain if you need to know.
Step aside, pig face. And what business is that of yours, pig face? You ain't no son of the All-Mother, or even a mountain rat like the brothers of Jarl. What you want now? And what business is that of yours, pig face? You ain't no son of the All-Mother, or even a mountain rat like the brothers of Jarl. I suppose the All-Mother's tried our fates to immaculates of every make and shape, ain't she? I don't pretend to understand, but I do trust in her judgment. What do you want to know, then? Something the conduits asked for directly, you see? There's a key inside, a key to a source temple within the forest. The very temple the conduits attempted to crack at this very moment. They say the key's the only way in, but she's attempted to charm her way in while we look for the key here. Without the wizard's servants to show us the way in, though, it don't seem like we'll ever get through the damn doors. Can't say myself what exactly's inside, but the conduit seems ready to turn heaven and ground to get inside. It seems the wizard who lived here was quite familiar with the place. He kept what seems to be the only key, after all. Gratiilda seems to believe they're in a hidden cellar somewhere, but we haven't found a lick of a hint as to where the damn thing might be. They can't have escaped, that's all we know for certain. Shame the wizard's pretty little grapevines and beehives will wither without his team of helpers tending them. Perhaps, once we find and skin the buggers, that priestess can turn them into undead workers fast enough to save the garden and whip up some wine and mead.
You may not be a brother of the mound, this big green hunk of...
Got something you want to talk to Captain if you...
Baking like a cake.
This is taking bloody ages. I need a drink and a breather.
Back to me. I'm gonna call it, lad. Now for the flop. 2 o'clock. 3 of spades.
Did someone leave an oven door open?
Doesn't tell you a thing, does she? We're waiting to fight the final battle. The time is nearly now.
What a deluge!
Hello again. Do you bring good news? Ding dong, the king is dead, and I thank you from tail to whiskers for your help. There may be hope for my friends yet. If you would, my friend, you could find them and help them escape now that those pointy-faced beasts won't be on the alert. Their hiding place is enchanted, you see, crafted by the wizard himself to hide those he held dear. They've concealed themselves in a cellar outside their home, the hatch of which you'll find beneath a great black boulder. Once you've destroyed the boulder, search in the beehives behind the wizard's house for the key.
There's something behind here.
Their hiding place is enchanted, you see. Crafted by the wizard himself to hide those he held dear. They've concealed themselves in a cellar outside their home.
Oh, it never rains but it pours, eh? This boulder looks strange. Unreal, even. I put you down. Stave of combat! Fastened tighter than the treasury.
I'd prefer to drown my sorrows with ale.
What a deluge! Who are you? Stay away from my family. They know nothing of the wizard. Take me. A source hunter? Lodian, the gods have answered our prayers. I can think of no more welcome deliverer from this predicament than one of your esteemed order. Seven bless us, and you too. Aye, we three laboured under Zandalor's employ. He was right decent to us, and it's thanks to him we managed to escape the brutes upstairs. Zandalor prepared this hidden place long ago. It's almost as though he knew, somehow, that this day would come. Or perhaps he knew only that the forces of evil would always pursue those of goodness and light. Many years ago, he told us that if ever we found ourselves in danger, we should flee to this cellar. Shut fast its door, he said, and mark the jam with a chalk pentangle. This will call forth the magic I have assigned for your protection. It seems our friend was true to his word. Zandalor is a brilliant man, even among wizards. Why he chose to settle in this sleepy little town, I can't say. But then again, he never did remain for long. Always dashing off to attend to some matter or other, our wizard. We cared for his home while he was away, and attended to him when he was in. We were quite fond of him, and I do believe he was rather fond of us too. It seems that when we triggered this cellar's defences, he knew straight away. Within a minute or so, a strange orb of light appeared before us. It grew sharper and sharper about the edges. I held out my hands to grasp it, and it fell, heavy as a pearl, in my hands. From the orb came Zandalor's voice, clear and strong, as though he were standing just before me. His voice was hurried, strained in a way I'd never heard before. Something unthinkable. That he was travelling through the Phantom Forest, that heart of horrors, and into the ancient Source Temple that rests within its cursed depths. He told us to wait for the White Witch, asked us to deliver a message, something important by the sound of it. We wrote it down, word for word, and will pass it along whenever it is she comes. I know little more than its name implies, but if a temple of Source does indeed rest within that blighted forest, a greater evil I cannot imagine. Many is the year since ghoul or beast has ventured out of the defiled sanctuary of those woods, yet still we of the village dare not enter. Legend says that to set a single foot into the Phantom Forest is to invite death's grasp. It's a legend none wish to test. As you may know, this town was founded as the last bulwark against the Source monstrosities that reside within that terrible place. After the fall of Brachus Rex, the defeated darkness retreated to those woods, and haunted they have remained ever since. That ring! Hikara's blessing! Zandalore has the same. I'd recognize it anywhere. So the White Witch sent you, did she? I should have known she'd not sit idly by while the world turned topsy-turvy. Zandalore's message is as such. He's gone to the Source Temple in the Phantom Forest, and he wants her, or I suppose you, her messengers, to follow him there. In order to enter the forest, you'll need an amulet. He stored it in a small chest near his personal waypoint. Once you're inside the forest, you'll need to find the Forest Spirit. This spirit will give you the rune you need to enter the Source Temple. But first things first, if you want to get inside Zandalore's house, you'll need to use the portal in this very room. I've the crystal you need in order to activate it. Still, entering the house will be the least of your worries. Zandalore himself has called forth every manner of protection to discourage would-be intruders, and you will have to defeat them all in order to reach the bedroom. Now, the last thing he said doesn't make much sense to an outsider. Perhaps you or the witch will manage to make better sense of it. He said, and I quote, "She is coming. I only hope I can reach the temple first. If she finds the portal..." He didn't finish after that. Before you go, perhaps we might impose on you, well, a favor, you see. Source Hunter, we need a way out of this place. It's only a matter of time before the savages upstairs find us, and trying to leave through the village is as good as suicide. But Zandalore has his own means of travel, a waypoint shrine in his own chambers reserved for his personal use. If we could only get there, we'd be able to flee this place lickety-split. The only trouble is what I've already mentioned. The wizard's house is rigged from top to bottom. If you'll be disabling its defenses, we'll slip through without problem. Good luck, Source Hunter, and unimaginable thanks from me and mine. Our friend, how can we help you? Not much to see here, I'm afraid, but you're welcome.
How very strange to see a friendly face in these dark times. Oh, that dear fellow. He had a great many friends and acquaintances, from local witches to mighty spirits. His dining room was always full of conversations of every conceivable topic, and it was a pleasure to listen in. But he had been somewhat despondent these past few years, ever since return from an extended visit to Luculla Forest. His long face and nervous eyes were new features to his typically sunny disposition. We never did learn the source of his discomfort, but I always kept him in my prayers. A cat told you. I don't know much about source hunters, but I never knew them to be, well, cat whisperers, or any such thing. Nevertheless, I suppose I've seen stranger things around a wizard's table. If what you say is true, it must be Jinxica to whom you spoke. How wonderful to hear she lives! I feared she'd been lost to the orcs or the wilds, but it seems our kind Kitty has been helping us all this time. We called for old Jinxie before going into hiding, but this little stray here was the only one who showed up. I figured better to save one little whiskered friend than none. I am at your disposal, Source Hunter.
Make yourself at home for the present. We haven't much to offer, but my wife can tell you plenty about... He's a good and decent man, our Zandalore. Without him, we'd have been ripped apart and tossed aside by the marauders outside this cellar. My wife can tell you more, if it's more you wish to know.
Lively today.
Where am I? Is this real?
I thought my luck had run out.
I feel as though I've been living in a dream. I was bathing myself, as I've done a million times over, when suddenly a curious sensation came over me, as if my mind were no longer mine. I saw, but I did not see. I was as one possessed. Where am I?
Destiny smiles upon us this day.
My lucky charm.